What is up, guys, and welcome back to Model News. Today we have a tour of DHS 2016, and today we start off in the custom model section with Jim McCormick and Mike Campotelli.
Close enough.
Yes, sorry. So first off, we have one of my all-time favorite older machines, an International TD25, but this isn't a lamp in the pipe layer configuration. Very cool indeed, and it has lots of great details, as you can see. Here we have a completely custom flatbed. What scale is this in? It's actually really nice looking. It's got really nice diamond texture on it, and it looks really awesome. And moving over to some more Caterpillar stuff, we have the 374DL with a extreme duty bucket. Is that Gaz Evans?
That's a Gaz Evans.
Yep, Gaz Evans bucket on
quick disconnect. There's a quick disconnect. If you look real close, you'll see the hydraulic lines that run the quick disconnect.
Yep, all metal protected lines as well.
Yep.
Great detailing on these. And then over here we have a Cat 6015B. As you can see, it looks excellent, guys.
Thank you.
So yes, that's the quick tour of table number 1, and these guys are in the custom model showcase. Good luck, guys. And then right next door to them we have a Diorama showcase, and this is Cat 320 DLRR, showcasing some of his models. And if you guys remember last year, that little guy looks familiar, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Some custom models here, including a Miller on the S175. Then you have a Holt root rake on this 963, and then a 320 with
the power box, and then the grinding head on it, and cap protection.
Power box, grinding head, and cap protection, if you didn't hear him. And then you got one of those really super small pavers that seem like everybody has, and then a beam trailer. And then moving over to the Diorama, you have a Komatsu PC 490 digging pipeline, pretty much, and a 210 laying it with a 420F by Diecast Masters backfilling. So good luck on the Dio contest. And at the next table, it's the table of Daniel Netherscott, and here is some custom models. Here you can see some very nice weathered custom models, and a white D6 by Tonkin. Here you can see a 966 with box plow, some models with grapples, including a really cool looking 330 with a grapple and a 320 with a grapple.
He told me.
And then you have probably my favorite at this table, the PC 350 LC log loader. And over here you have a varying amount of trucks, including some lime green liveried trucks, as you get a good look at the table. So moving on to the next. So next up is a name very familiar with you Model News junkies, which I know there's a few of you out there. Diecast Emporium. Had to call you out there, bud. But this is Outback Custom Models diorama for this year. As you can see, you got some CCM models and a Tonkin 966 that is taking amongst the ranks. And then you got some spare parts back there. All these nice and lined up. If you notice under the D9, there's some welding lights. Yes, there is some lights, which seems to be a good theme this year. And then you got, well, that piece of crap model that we're not going to look at. And then you got some CCM models lined up. And then you get a North Scrapple, an old NZG, and then another NZG. And then over here you have his prize, 225. This is probably as close as you're ever going to get to one, so enjoy that view. And a Chinese Deere 350, a Rotex shuttle buggy, and some Sumitomo models, and then this custom Cat service truck painted Komatsu colors. So on to the next table, which is right there. DG2. This is DG2 Construction Companies. Hopefully I got that one right this time. Yeah, I got it wrong a couple times. This is his diorama entry for this year's DHS show, and here he has some Pete, a 357 and a 379. Yeah, I just didn't recognize it without the rear fenders. Oh yeah. With a beam trailer, and then guys, take a look at this. This is the closest you will ever get to one of these. It is a wild Volvo in its natural environment. Okay, we're not going to disturb it because it is a very endangered species. Okay, yeah, get a good look at it. That thing's worth like a lot of money now since people like to inflate it. And then you get a 924G with a 4-in-1 bucket. And then you got that really cool little generator. And then you got traffic, everyone's favorite. Except for this is good traffic. This is construction traffic. And then look what makes its appearance for like the 3rd time so far. Oh, and a bedding box too. Can't forget those. And then this beautiful masterpiece. Yes, that is a very beautiful Trex crane. And some accessories including a dumpster. There's no porta potty, is there? Oh, yeah, everyone. Now this is a very important piece of construction equipment too. Everyone likes to count those out, but that's very important. And then a very cool S750 with forks. And then over here you have some more stuff, including a PC88 MR, which is a very nice looking model. And then a Pete dump truck, another Pete dump truck. And then, as you can see, a very overpriced Volvo mini excavator. And then 2 Bobcats. I used to have 4 of those.
The 783s?
Yeah.
Those are nice.
And then a service truck. And the next table is nothing, so. But yeah, there's an overall view of it. Good luck on the contest and great job.
Thank you.
Alright, next up, at the next table, a couple tables down, we have an asphalt plant, and you can tell its size by this 980K. Tribute to Cranes Etc. right there. But there you can see all the details on it. It's got a truck pulling out actually, out the back. And you got a nice little tanker truck right here with asphalt on it. Warning, that stuff is hot. And as you can see, great details all around it. Looks great. Over here, you got the security building and another dump truck. So yes, that is this table. So at the next table, we have something a little different. It's not die-cast, but it's Lego, and by God, it is awesome. This is a, what's that?
Manitowoc 6400 Dragline.
A 6400 Dragline. Now, as you can see, it has motors and it actually, well, drags the line. Very cool indeed.
It's built in 1:44 scale. The actual machine has a 15-yard bucket and a 160-foot boom.
There you hear it firsthand. And I'm telling you, this thing is pretty awesome, that's for sure. I know my friends at Manitowoc Crane Enthusiasts will actually love this thing. There you get a look at the car body. Completely made out of Legos.
Yes,
including the motors.
Yep.
Okay, there you got it. A complete Lego dragline.
The only thing that's not Lego on the model is the string.
Oh. Yeah, so the string's not Lego, but everything else is, and that's pretty awesome. At the next table right over, if we cannot get distracted by how awesome that thing is, we have Diecast Construction Pages Diorama. And first off, we're going to go with the side models. Komatsu PC 1250, which looks awesome. This is a custom done by JJ. And then a T880. Oh, well, whatever. And a T880 fuel and lube. And then 980G. But this thing here is pretty kick ass. A Deere 850D LC custom. It's based off of the 870 that by WSI, the Hitachi. And here you can see a custom Gaz Evans bucket, a 950K with Jason nickel forks, I believe, and with some pipes. You can see the little trench compactor going down, being dropped down by the 349. Then you got the PC 300, and then over here you have a 963 loading with its 4-in-1 bucket. And again, an appearance by our very important friend, the porta potty. And over here you have a trench box. So next up we got a rather big dio, and we're going to cut to that now. And next up in the dio list is a dio by Kevin Skinner. Very impressive. Here we have a custom train leveler. Or
Hydro-axe.
Yeah, hydro-axe. Of course, I see a lot of those at home. Then we have Mike's Custom Models favorite old-time model. Then we have a D6 LGP and with forestry ROPS and a Vermeer TG7000 mulching it all up. Over here we have a CS 583 and then an M318D. And then over here we have a 924 with that has a side dump bucket. Just get a nice look around. Highly sought after 312, which it becomes sort of a rare model. And then out in the corner, you have a 972 with Jason nickel forks, 323 with a thumb, and 323 with a hammer by Norris Scott over there. But that's not all, folks. Over here, we have a 385C loading the crusher, and then a D250E going downhill. We have a cement mixer, and a 375 over here digging down in. But wait, it's got help. There you can see the machines down in the hole, including a very dirty 325 BL, but it looks absolutely amazing. And we got a man lift back there in the corner, and a little dozer down in there. But how are we going to get those machines out, you might ask? Well, we got some cranes here, including a Liebherr and a CCM 555. Get a little nice overview of it. Looks amazing, don't it? So next we're going to move on to the next table. Actually, not the next table. We got a giant crane. And we're cutting over now. And next up we have a rather giant model, and we do believe this is a 1/50th scale. And I'd hate to own it. Here you can see all the winch or all the drums. And just look at all that weaving work, and it goes all the way up there. And here you can see the counterweight. It's obviously in Sarans with all these sandboxes. Quite major, that is. Again, very big size. There's the cab on the far side over there. So yeah, it's a very big model. So we're going to move over to the next contestant, which is a Dio. And at the next diorama table, this is owned by Ethan Sintel, someone who I can relate with because he works for a contractor that lives in my state. So anyways, it's an asphalt plant, as you can see. You got a truck getting filled up in a skid steer. And you have a old Cat 245, and then a 982M loading the hoppers. But this Dio has lights as well, which is really cool. But yet, in the background, you notice it's being overshadowed by something else. That's the Mammoet PTC 35DS. Very few of them in the world, and Crane Dude 07 has one. So, awesome Dio here by Ethan, and awesome crane behind. And at the next table we have some custom models by Greg Ferguson. Right here, being showcased is a 349 EL long reach. The base model is a CCM 349, obviously, and it looks like it has GPS on it as well. So, very cool, and you can see the protected hydraulic lines. Next to it is a rather new one, Diecast Masters 390 with a LeBounty shear. Very cool looking. It has a different boom on it as well, a longer boom. Over here we have another 349 being showcased, but this time with a hammer on the quick coupler, as you can see. And next to it is probably the best piece I've seen so far, and that's a 385 CL Power Stripe with a completely custom counterweight on it. And it has a longer boom and a longer stick. And up front here we have two Link Belt 330 LXs, one with a LeBounty shear and one with a grapple. And so far, on to another diorama at the next table. Up next is FT Construction Diecast table. Here he has some trucks and stuff for sale, literally, trucks and stuff. So on to the main dio itself. As you can see here, we have a nice 345 CL Custom loading a Deere 460. Over here you have a little D6T with custom GPS lines going into the dozer. Then we have a 323 next to a bunch of logs. And you have a little repair job going on here on the 725. We got a nice little lowboy attached. And over here we have a 624 moving some gravel. Over here we have a Komatsu 613, which honestly, guys, bad model. And over here in the shop we have, ironically, we have a wrecker in the shop. That's something you should not see often. This is the First Gear TA80 wrecker, and then we have a little dozer, often not seen but not forgotten. So there's a little overview of it. Undoubtedly one of the biggest dioramas here. But, oh, and by the way guys, it's for sale. So just keep that in mind, even though this video is probably going to go up long after the thing's over. So on to the next table. Next up we have Douglas Shortway's diorama. As you can see, showing off a very nice red truck fleet featuring Max, Peterbilts, and Kenworths. There you can see the lowboys, including the only real white piece in here, the RX 700 Rotec, which I have still yet to get. Whoops. And over here we got some fuel and lubes, spare bucket. We got another TA80 record, but this right here is what makes it. Definitely show a lot of respect to your police officers, ladies and gentlemen. They put a lot on the line. Definitely, if you see one, thank them, because they have a very important job. And over here you have all the dump trucks, and you have a 349, which happens to be a very popular appearing model at this year's show. We have some accessories, including some jersey barriers being lifted, and then we have a 966K black bucket on a lowboy. As you get a nice little look around, very nice indeed. Right next door is Custom Styrene Lee's table. Very, very well-known custom maker, does phenomenal work. So here we have a custom Oshkosh and a custom Kenworth in black metallic paint, and it looks absolutely flippin' awesome with custom stacks. Here you can see a Chevy hauling a plate compactor. Get a little look over here. You get a custom truck hauling a Vermeer directional drill, which features a cab on it. Some more custom trucks along the way. And over here we have a 330DL log loader and then a D6 forestry machine with a bedding box on the back. And here we get a little New Holland mini excavator with a little baby thumb on it, as you can see. So anyways, that's Custom Styrene Lee's table. And over in this corner we have a nice merchant stand here featuring an old link belt. As you get a nice little look around, including a fire truck. This is Chicago Fire Airport, or Airport Fire, excuse me. Here we have a nice little Dragline. Then we got some cat models for sale here, including a 365. Again, just a little look around some older cat models. And over here we have a pretty decent sized crane with a luffer. It's a Cinnebogan 5500, and then we got a Liebherr Dragline. Just a look around, and then we got a little bit of a Dio, it looks like, set up over here. Very great detail looking. As you can see, a sawmill, even with the saw in there. Some trains. Very nice indeed. And now we're going to move on over here. This is probably one of the biggest models I've ever seen in person. It is the P&H 4100 XPC. Now this isn't associated with any table or any of that. However, it's actually kind of fitting that we add this to we show this one because the owners at P&H, Joy Global Mining, were just bought out by Komatsu, which is kind of fitting because Bucyrus was bought by Cat, and now their rival, Joy, is bought by Komatsu. But here you get a nice little look at the P&H 4100 PC. So next we move on to where the models get sold, and we're going to take a little brief overview here. You see some cat models up for sale, including some old Northcots and some new diecast Masters. Over there is a vendor's table with some NASCAR stuff. Again, just checking this out a little bit, not really covering too much. There's a Case 250C right there. They're starting to become harder to come by. A giant Liebherr mining truck. Here's the scratch and dents cabinets. And there you can see another vendor, including this beauty right here. And then as we go on down here, We're just going to take a quick little skim of this. Just some various models up for sale. And again, out of respect for the people, we're not going to show their faces, obviously. So yes, just a little quick skim through there. Pretty much everything you could want is here. So anyways, we're going to move back into the room and we're going to show off some more. Not only is the party inside, but they've also brought something special here outside. A brand new Cat D4K2 dozer. And when I say new, it literally still has the paint on the track pads, courtesy of Ohio Cat. So brand new Cat D4K2 that people can get up close with and interact with. Great addition, DHS. Also on display is the Sword F250 trucks. Now these were announced several years ago, however they've not been released to the collectors just yet, but hopefully very soon these highly sought after models will actually be sold to collectors, and I know a lot of people are looking forward to them because we don't really see 1/50th scale trucks, well, besides the DCP ones, but this would be a very, very welcomed addition. Over here we have some barges and stuff showing off ballast, and here we have a little mini Atlas loader with some ballast, and over here is a Manitowoc 4100 Dragline. Very nice to see a 4100 still being presented all these years after it's made, and as you get a nice little look over it, and then the binder that is with it. Over here we got some stuff from Ballast King. And our last diorama for today happens to be the Liebherr 9800 loading a Cat 793D dump truck. And there you can see a 793D power stripe in the back. So here is the mammoth Liebherr 9800 loading 793. As you can see, it's just absolutely a massive model. So next clip we show will be the winners of the Dio and the custom contest. Also on display this weekend is not really a model manufacturer, but Toy Trucker Magazine, showing off some of their stuff and even having models up for sale here, which is really awesome. Even a small little Dio of an old Bucyrus cable shovel, and some more stuff here, and even a Diecast Promotions truck with a Cat Challenger. Very nice to see and very cool nonetheless. So anyways, we only have one table left, and then we will show you who wins here at DHS in 2016. And at the next table, we have another diorama, and this one's a pretty extensive one. It goes through 3 different phases, it appears. Here we start off in the forest with some land clearing, and you can see some of these trucks have lights on them. It's very cool indeed. You got John Deere dozer making the powder plate, and then you got a road, and then you got some metal plates over the road where it's opened up, where the pipe goes in. And right next to it, we go into a building going up, and you can see a little welder with a light as it went out. And as you can see down here, a lot going on. And then here you have a crane topped off with Old Glory up there. And again, some of these cars over here are fixed with lights, which makes it look really cool. And look, it's Mr. Donald Trump arriving. And we go back over to the forestry part of it, as you can see. Very nice looking diorama indeed. And definitely probably one of my favorites of the show. So on to the next table.
Step up from the last 10 years. I mean, this is phenomenal. You guys are getting better and better as model builders. You have more talent than I've ever had, so we're starting from, I'm starting from scratch here, but so it's real important that you understand that we have a model contest because we think it's interesting to, have people win something for their efforts, but because you didn't win doesn't necessarily mean you didn't do a good job, so I want to make sure everybody understands that. So I almost hate having winners and not winners, so to speak, but well, we're going to go through it anyway because we said we're going to have a contest and there's gift certificates at stake. So I did there's 2 divisions. We did away with all the age groups because we don't have any really young people here, so everybody's competing at the same level. There's a diorama division and a model division, as you know. So in the model division, We'll start with third place, just like Miss America here. Third place this year is Mr. Greg Ferguson. Nice job. Missy's going to have your gift certificates if you do win, okay? She's making them right now, so give her a couple minutes. Second place, we're going to do Lee Love this year. Yes. Please, don't take offense. We want everybody to be happy. First place this year, we'll do Alex Taylor. That's a beautiful model. Alex was with us a couple years ago, and then he left us for a year, and we never forgave him. All right, in the Diorama category, all right, we're going to go third place first again. And again, this is no saying anybody did a poor job or did a wonderful job, all right? Number 3 is Jim Quick. We actually took this diorama to the York train show, and it was the main focus of our table for a year. And then Jim took it, and it looks completely different from when I had it. It looks beautiful. Number 2, Mr. Ken Wheeler. Yeah. First place this year is Ethan. I can never say it. It's an anthem. I want to thank everybody who came this year. Please come again. We want you back next year. We'll find a bigger space if we need to. Bring your friends, bring your families. It's been a great show. Had a little bit of rain. Scared a lot of people away about 3 o'clock, but before that it was real busy. But we appreciate everything you guys do, and I think you guys are the future of the hobby. I think it's critical that the young guys, and it's cool to see all the young guys in here doing this kind of stuff. You bet. I see my kids, I say, who do you know that collects? And people are like, no, our kids don't collect. No way. They're all busy with the video games, and that's fine. But you know what? Having something hard and fast, and you got some history, and you understand how things work, and I think it's the best thing for us. So, as far as for the country, no political comments. Thank you very, very much for coming, you guys. You're welcome to stick around. There's probably some hot dogs left. I hope everybody got something to eat, and I hope you had a good time. Really
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so that's it for another DHS. There was a lot of great dios here this year, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the coverage. I tried to make it as prolific as possible, considering if you were not here. And if you were here, hopefully you were in the video, and hopefully you had some fun. This was my first DHS, and it was awesome. A special thanks to Chuck for having this great event once again, and definitely it was amazing to see all the dios. Put some faces to the names on Instagram, and hopefully a lot of you guys can come out next year. I know I'll be here for sure. And so that's it for this year's DHS and Mall News coverage of it. And as always, peace out.
And more hot dogs.